Bamboo is money for the panda.
That's right.
They love that panda. There's nothing they would like more than just a little bamboo. They don't need no stinking money, but we do. We're humans, right? Money makes the world go round. So we're a couple weeks into the new year, and a lot of people make their resolutions, right? And one of them is better with my money this year in personal finance. Well, we have the person just for you this morning. It is David Wilhelm. He is a professor, a business professor over at Miramar College. You've been on the show before. Thanks for coming back.
Thank you,
happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you as well.
To you. How was your New Year so far?
Excellent, excellent. Good. You know, it's a new year full of hope and optimism, and as most Americans, we're excited about the new year at Miramar College.
Yes.
We have new courses that we're offering this semester, which begins 2 weeks from tomorrow. Business Statistics course, which is new and is fully transferable to the State University, San Diego State.
Yep.
And of course, talking about our personal finance class, we offered, as you know, online in the fall, and now we're expanding that course in the spring, offering it for the first time in the classroom.
In the classroom.
In the classroom.
And this is very interesting, but people can still take it online.
They can take it both online and in the classroom. That's right.
But if you're a student there, you might want to go in the classroom for the classroom experience because you'll. Why is that better?
Well, I think it's good because when students come into the classroom, the first benefit is they have the immediate interaction and the shared learning with other students in the classroom. We have in-class activities to practice and reinforce the concepts of what's introduced in the course. And then, of course, there's that immediate feedback, and that's invaluable.
Right. So we're talking about this thing, it's personal finance, and off camera in the commercial break we were talking that this is now a college-level course, but there are some schools around the country that are actually teaching this kind of thing in grade school. And I said to you, you know, that is the time to plant the seed. If you wait too long, you just don't think this way.
That's right. It begins as early as grade school. And in finance, we often say the time value of money means that you begin early and often to save and invest. And the earlier an individual can begin saving and investing, the greater the likelihood of achieving success. Now, that doesn't guarantee success, but it certainly increases the probability.
You say early, what do you mean?
Well, as early as possible. So even somebody who's in middle age, maybe 30s or 40s, can also start and participate and be successful. But certainly, the longer the time horizon for saving and investing, the greater that future probability of success. As early as grade school.
Absolutely, yeah. When Grandpa gives you that first 20 bucks.
That's right.
Right, he says, son, put that in the bank and watch it grow.
You know, it's the age-old trade-off of needs versus wants.
Yeah, well, that's right. You know, like Mick Jagger said, you can't always get what you want, but you get what you need.
That's true.
Like Mick said. So what are we going to learn as we go through this course that are practical things for not only the students' lives, but say someone like me who, you know, retirement is somewhere in the future. I see it.
You know,
somewhere.
The Personal Employee Education Foundation recently released a report, and it was a shocking statistic. 25% of Americans ages 55 to 64, 25% have nothing saved for retirement. Nothing.
1 out of 4 people.
1 out of 4 people have nothing, aged 25 to 64.
Wow.
And so what students will learn in this course is not only the short-term goals, that is building an emergency fund, saving for the cost of a college education. We talk about strategies to do that, including ways to minimize tax obligations, not avoiding taxes, legally.
Working within the system.
Working within the system to minimize your tax burden. But also we talk about ways to save and invest, and to not be afraid of investing, to understand its fundamental principles from a very basic standpoint, and then to benefit from it. That is to participate in the market. And so we talk about the strategies of just how to do that in the course. It all begins with setting financial goals.
Setting those goals.
It all begins with a goal. And that goal could be planning for the purchase of a home or car. And look, let's say right here in San Diego. You know, the median price of a home in San Diego County currently stands at $589,000 compared to the national median of $240,000.
Yeah.
So how does someone in San Diego start planning to buy a home, right? The American dream.
I think you start planning by calling the Mayflower van and moving.
That's one of the steps. But really, even before then, you start thinking about how do I get from my present state of being to where I want to be in the future, whether that's for a home, a car, or even your college education. In this course, the strategies we teach include investing, and we put emphasis on that because let's face it, to really build wealth, Dan, what people have to do is they have to outpace the rate of inflation.
Yeah.
And there's good news on that front. In fact, currently, according to the Bureau of Economic Analysis, nominal wages, not inflation adjusted, nominal wage growth in America is now growing about 3.5% as of November. That's good, according to the Commerce Department.
It's beating inflation.
Now, it is, and inflation, according to the Department of Labor, is currently about 1.7%.
Yeah.
So nominal wages 3.5, inflation 1.7. That means real wages are growing about 1.8% in America.
Yeah.
That's good. Now, it doesn't sound like a lot. I know to most viewers, they hear 1.8 and say, well, that doesn't sound great.
Right.
But let's face it, that's better than stagnant wage growth that we've had for years, particularly during the recession. So here's what that really means. What that means is we have opportunities now to build wealth. The stock market grew last year, and it did and has for 3 of the last 4 years, 12 to 13%. Where can you put your money that will outpace inflation at 1.7%? That's what consumers and people who are considering setting their goals for the future need to consider.
And these are some of the things we'll learn in your class, which can be taken both online for people like me might be interested, right? I don't want to go to the classroom with a bunch of kids.
Well, you could take it online. Even learn something from some of those young students, because
well, I'm
many
sure
of
that
them
I would.
are very savvy.
I bet they were. I bet they are. I will indeed. So, and then you guys start over at Miramar on the 30th.
2 weeks from tomorrow.
Coming up.
You can go to sdmiramar.edu, click on admissions and classes. There, you can click on new student and begin your online admissions and enrollment for the course. One final thing I want to mention about this course, and that is it's not just about building wealth, particularly as it relates to outpacing inflation, but also manage debt. That's not a famous topic, and people don't often think about it until they're faced with mountains of it.
Right.
So let's talk about briefly ways to do that. To minimize debt, the first step is to have a budget. To build a personal budget, which is something students in this course learn, they quickly understand what it means to commit resources that pays down debt they may have, whether that's revolving credit card debt or other loans.
As hard as that is.
And put that debt towards investing. When I paid off my car as a college student, I took that monthly payment that I was making and quickly realized instead of paying back installment debt, why not take that fixed installment payment and put it to an investment? And that's what I did. And eventually, that investment turned into a down payment on my home.
Wow.
And that's a good way to do it.
Very simple.
Do not adjust your standard of living. Instead, take that fixed installment payment and now shift those funds to something that builds wealth and grows.
That's a great idea. That is a great idea. All right. Professor Wilhelm, thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you. Happy New Year.
And Happy New Year.
Thank you for having me.
And thanks for coming in.
My pleasure.
All right. Have a